Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and this is the biggest, largest, most capable, and yes, most expensive version of GMC's midsize Canyon pickup truck. This is the 2024 GMC Canyon AT4X AEV edition. Yes, I know that's a mouthful. This is a pickup truck that the last time we had here on the channel, I said I didn't really recommend in its AT4 trim, which was more affordable. Somehow this more expensive truck changes all of that. I've got some explaining to do. Stay tuned. Yes, gearheads, my goodness, it's tall. I've got a little bit of explaining to do. And well, in the same fashion as the last time I had this truck, my goodness, this is huge. I've fallen in love with this one, and I'm going to take you through all of that. Well, I can't do that from here. Let's go. First thing I want to do is say a huge thank you to GMC for allowing me to experience a second chance, so to speak, with the GMC Canyon, because this version speaks to me. My caveman brain really likes it. There is a lot here for us to go through and talk about as to why this over $10,000 price increase of a pickup truck is better than the more affordable AT4, and why I would see myself spending more money on a less practical daily driver if I were to buy into the GMC Canyon line. Let's dive into that. First and foremost, the powertrain. Same powertrain under the hood, and yes, it's got a lot more weight to carry at all four corners with class exclusive 35-inch tall tires. Let's actually take a little look underneath there and talk some power numbers. All right, yes, under the hood of this thing, no, there's no V6. Nowhere in the realm of possibilities was there ever a V8 from the factory here in this 24 Canyon. Though, I do kind of feel a V8 would be just as thirsty as this 2.7 liter four-cylinder Turbomax, as it is now being dubbed throughout the GM lineup. Yes, this is a turbocharged inline four-cylinder, making 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. This engine is in every single, and I mean every single, GMC Canyon, no changes, same power numbers, same components from top to bottom. The Chevy Colorado version gets a few different variants of this engine, and this engine also powers the larger full-size pickup trucks from Chevrolet and GMC. So it has been around a while, and yes, it has pulled around anything from a light-duty mid-size to a light-duty full-size pickup truck. It does have a standard four-wheel drive with a 2-speed transfer case, and it is mated to an updated version of the outgoing generation's 8-speed automatic transmission, all of which has translated into something I really like about this pickup truck. I have never had any complaint about the power. It works just fine. This engine is more than what you need for this pickup truck. It's not my complaint. Yes, I would love a big V8 making lots of noise, but it is a good, solid engine. So yes, driving this thing around, I have never complained about this powertrain, especially in this highest output version that GMC offers across their line and that you have to opt into with Chevrolet. The 430 pound-feet of torque, the 8-speed transmission, it all works very well. Even with the large 35-inch tall tires on this one, it still works very well. You will not mistake this thing for a sports car. It moves, it is well powered for what you need it to do in town and off-road. It is a good powertrain. A lot of people will complain, oh, it's not a V6 or it's not a V8, which, when was the last time we saw a V8 in the midsize segment? Really? No, it is not a V6. Yes, it's a smaller engine and you're pushing it more, but we're cruising at less than 2,000 RPM. Like, they have torture tested this engine. Yes, you will find it in midsize and full-size pickup trucks alike. They really have put a lot of time, energy, and effort into this Turbomax engine. And yeah, piloting it around has not been a big problem. Though I have gotten a lot of looks in this one because the exterior of this one screams, look at me. I'll take you on a quick tour outside. Styling of the 2024 GMC Canyon AT4X AEV edition. I think this is why you would buy this one more than anything. There are a lot of poser mobiles on the road. This ain't that. And I have a whole video going into that. As you can see, my tires are already showing evidence of the fact that this has truly been tested off-road. But the style of this one looks like nothing else in the segment, and we will get into all of that. But first, I want to start with the styling up front. The AT4X gets a lifted ride height and DSSV Multimatic shocks. The AEV edition gives you this specific front bumper and all the different angles, approach angles, departure angles, and such up front here. You can see we do get red tow hooks. As we go down even further, we get 5 Boron steel stamps, underbody skid plates. So just class leading underbody protection in this one, all the way from the front to the tail with all these AEV specific parts. It is a $10,000 100 option. Let's see, I'll get that right. $10,100 option package for the AEV edition on top of the $54,000 AT4X option. Yeah, this is a pricey truck. As this one sits, it's just over $67,000. But when you compare that to the newest Toyota Tacoma, this thing really does come out even better, even more of a bargain than that Toyota Tacoma. Both this and the Tacoma offer turbocharged 4-cylinder power, though the Toyota's is a hybrid turbocharged 4. But this, as you can see now from this angle, does give you the class exclusive 35-inch tall Goodyear Wrangler tires wrapped around these Beadlock-capable 17-inch wheels. And the stance of this thing, all Canyons get a wider stance than the Chevy counterparts that start this segment in a General Motors lineup. Yes, we get the wider stance, but with the AEV edition, you get these bigger, taller wheels and tires, and it really just gives this thing a bodybuilder look. Even though this is a mid-size pickup truck, I've pulled up next to 1,500 and 2,500 pickup trucks and have been sitting eye level with the drivers there. So yes, the stance, the look of this thing absolutely stands out against all of its competition. And that even includes the Ford Ranger Raptor, which rides on 33-inch tall tires and isn't quite as insane as this when it comes to off-road chops. Of course, we get full LED headlights, running lights, turn signals, fog lights, all the things up front. It really is a handsome truck to start with. In fact, while we had that red AT4 version, it is the most complimented pickup truck we've ever had here in East Texas. Oddly enough, we haven't gotten a single comment on the looks of this one just yet. Why has nobody complimented me on this one? I feel like that's why you buy a truck like this, is to get compliments. Granted, I didn't buy it, but I still want the compliments, y'all. Where are the compliments? Tell me my truck looks awesome. It does. But my goodness, I just love staring at it, and I think the red East Texas dirt makes those tires look even better as we come around to the side. You can see just how much sidewall there is on those 17-inch, 35-inch tall tires. It really is impressive. These are AEV specific wheels. So again, they come in that $10,100 AEV package. And you can see the tire size is 315, 70 or 17. So I appreciate that these are 18s like we got on the AT4. These are actually a smaller wheel with more sidewall than we got on the lesser AT4. a lot comes with that X and the AEV badging on this one. As we come around to the side, no, those are not steps. Those are rock sliders, rock protection to keep your body of your vehicle safe and protected from going over some crazy things. Because even though we've got 12 inches or so of ground clearance in this, you never want to ding up this side of your body, or worse, bend that lower rocker panel to where you can't even open your doors. So yes, we get body mounted under rocker protection on this one. And I guess now is as good a time as any for me to actually climb up underneath this truck and show you some of the awesome underbody protection on this. So we've got skid plates from nose to tail on this. We've got fuel, differential, transfer case, engine, oil pan. We've got all kinds of skid plates underneath this. Yes, even on that rear differential, skid plates back there. We even have some underbody cameras that I will show you here momentarily. And then, of course, yes, the body mounted rock sliders. So yes, I've been critical of those, but they are weight rated to withstand abuse. So there is that. As I mentioned, the AT4X gets these DSSV Multimatic shocks. Is F1 style race technology put into off-road use, and then we get some specific Jounce stops in this as well for doing some high-speed fun stuff off-road. Interestingly enough, this is really one of the few pickup trucks left on the market, especially in this class, with leaf springs back here in the back. So still a little old school there with leaf springs in the back. As we pull around to the rear of this, you can see we get this AEV specific rear bumper on this one. Fully steel rear bumper with some recovery points here, but lots of steel. This right here is plastic, but that is where the blind spot monitors reside. So that is a very nice touch. We do get a hitch receiver back here, all your plugs and hookups back here as well. And a very nice look, though I have a small gripe here. Again, nearly $70,000 truck, and you can see I've got the left blinker on, incandescent brake light and turn signals back here. We do get LED running lights, C-channel running lights around the exterior, but interestingly enough, incandescent brake lights. Very odd, but I guess that's an easy fix. And as we come back here, my goodness, this truck just stands up so tall. I have never seen so much air underneath a vehicle that we have tested and loved so much on-road and had so much fun with off-road as well. So yes, I know a lot of qualifiers in that statement. Coming to the bed, well, it's no secret we've given up some bed space for that massive spare tire. So underneath back here in the back, where the spare tire normally would, it's just open air. I feel like it's a little bit of a missed opportunity. I feel like maybe they could have fit a bigger fuel tank underneath there, because the fuel tank in this one is a little small, and with a 16 across the board MPG estimate from the EPA, you're not getting super far on a single tank of gas. You will be filling this up because these wheels and tires do weigh quite a bit and will absolutely make that little 4-cylinder work underneath the hood. We do get a spray and bed liner. Even though it is covered up by the spare, we have the AT4X logo there on the bulkhead and all the reinforcement for that heavy tire sitting back there in the back. And along with our spray and bed liner, we do get some power back here. Just a single outlet. It's 120 volt, 400 watt max, but it is a very usable bed for most people. And then when it comes to additional niceties back here, the tailgate wars are in full force. We have this Stowflex rear tailgate. So a little bit of in tailgate storage. There is a drain plug right here, so you can fill it up with ice if you wanted, make it cooler for a fun tailgate. You can see it is weather sealed, so whatever you put in here, as long as you've got this locked down appropriately, is going to be secure in here, because when you do close the tailgate and lock the pickup truck, you cannot get into it. So it is still nice and secure back there. All the way around though, this really is a very impressive pickup truck. I love looking at it from every angle. And in fact, I really like this gray paint job on it as well. It really shows off all the body lines on it. Very sharp across the board. Big tall tires. You can hear them a little bit when you get inside here. I've put nearly 600 miles on this, a lot of highway miles on this. Yeah, you know they're out there and they're down there, but come on, you're buying a big muscly truck like this, you kind of expect that, right? What does that translate to on the inside? Well, hop inside with me and I'll show you around. Before we get into this one, I did want to show you the key. Typical GMC key. It's a little on the bulky side, but it's got everything you want on it. Lock, unlock, remote start, and a panic button. You can deploy a physical key, but you don't have to because, again, it's a proximity key, but we do not get passive entry. You have this button right here to lock and unlock, though it is only on the front doors, not on the back. So if you want to get in and load a kid in the back, you're going to be going to the front doors first to unlock that. It also controls the tailgate as well. So when the vehicle is locked, you know that tailgate is also locked. Though when we get into it, my goodness, the interior on this is standard across the AT4X line. It's the Obsidian Rush and white and red. I absolutely love this interior. We get this carbon fiber look accent here. We've got the Obsidian Rush, the dark colors here, light colors here. And I will show you as we go around because, yes, we have already gotten this one dirty. This white holds up fairly well. That has been a concern, especially of Holly. If you want to get her thoughts, be sure and hit that subscribe button. Even though we get a two-way position or memory position seat here, interestingly enough, on a nearly $70,000 truck, only express up-down on the driver's window. Interesting they didn't put that all the way around. We do get a nice little additional storage here, a little bottle holder right there, so a little bit of storage in the door. Then you can see multi-way positional driver's seat with a lumbar right here. It is only two-way lumbar, but these seats have proven to be very comfortable. They're also very great to look at. We get that AEV logo there in the headrest. We get the AT4X right there on the side. And yes, no surprise, you can see Tucker's seat matches quite well with this. We like these seats. The white, the red, all work very well. Interestingly enough, the white is up high, so you don't have to worry about dirty pants or blue jeans wearing off and getting the white dirty. It is nice and up high, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Interesting thing about this, since we've got those rock rails, we don't have steps. So even myself at 5'10", getting in this has been a little bit interesting because General Motors GMC does not give you an A-pillar handle. They do not give you a handle up here anywhere. So the only places you really have to grab on are the steering wheel. So you get that, you step in really tall and you climb in. And yeah, if you haven't done your stretches, well, maybe you stretch before getting in the pickup truck. Some issues still remain from my last review, that being this. I don't love this, but the overall character and capability of this pickup truck versus that AT4 definitely make up for this. Though I am still a little concerned, how is this going to hold up over time? You can already see. I just think it needs a redesign, so I'm very interested in the mid-cycle refresh, what they do to fix this. Closing the door though, you can see we have a very nice interior. That white continues across the front, lots of red accents, and a lot of fun, subtle places here in this one on all of our toggle switches and whatnot. But I'm going to go ahead and put my foot on the brake and push the engine start button. Let that little 2.7 fire up and come to life. You can see we get an 11-inch screen here, a 13-inch screen here, so very nice dual screen infotainment setup here. Lots of information right here in front of you. I very much appreciate the updated IP in this over that AT4 that we tested entirely. Same steering wheel that we've been seeing in a lot of General Motors products, all the same buttons. It's not my favorite. These are toggle switches. It takes a little getting used to over some other manufacturers and some older GM products, but once you do, it's fairly simple. You have volume and tuning on the backside here, so I've got no real complaints on it all that much. You can page through multiple different screens here on the center console, or the driver information screen, simply by pushing this button right here. Lots of different informational graphics that you can get. This has been my favorite one. I used it yesterday when we filmed off-road. It tells you everything you need while still allowing you to use this screen for your cameras. We'll get to those here in just a minute. But you can see steering angle, you see what your transfer case is set to, whether your differentials are locked or open. You get a large compass right here. You get your pitch and roll right there. Everything you need right there in front of you at an easy glance. And then that is made even more easy to read by the fact that we've got a nice simple head-up display right up here giving me my current speed. So lots of good information right here in front of me. I especially liked that screen when I was off-road yesterday. Be sure and subscribe so you see that video. And then if all of that is too much for you, you can go very simplistic here, just as with your head-up display. But for daily driving, I will say this one right here is the most traditional and the best. You can see in nearly 600 miles of driving though, 15.4 mpg. That includes lots of highway miles. That includes sitting and idling like I've done today, and like I did yesterday when I was filming off-road. Lots of slow stuff. And so yes, that is a true real world example of what you will probably see. We have seen exclusively in the 15s in this. It's ranged from 15 to 15.7, I believe is the highest I've seen in our time with this. I have not reset that, so that is completely us. Normally I start over my left knee. There isn't a whole lot over here, but I am going to open the door because there are a few hidden surprises. Yes, GMC has moved all the lighting controls to the screen, but we still have our brightness right here, trailer brake control right here, and then something interesting and unique for this pickup truck, we get 3 auxiliary buttons, not necessarily switches. So if you wanted to put a winch on this or some auxiliary lights, we're already pre-wired for that. They are right here. It's not the coolest, most interesting spot. They aren't big toggle switches like Ford does in their Raptor line, but still very nice to have that built in right there for you. Coming across to the infotainment screen, I really like this. It's got Google built in. It works very nicely, though there are still some annoyances. Like I said, all the light controls are here, but if you hit this, what looks to be a GMC Terrain, if you hit that, there are all your quick access ones. So if you want to be high school cool until you turn your fog lamps on, it's a quick 2 button press operation. Same with accessing your cameras. Lots of good cameras in this, including some underbody cameras. So really factory, the best factory camera system in the class for sure. So you can see we've got lots of different camera views. We can look in front of us, behind us. We can look top down from the front and from the rear. We can look from our mirrors at our front wheels and our back wheels. You can see all the way around us. You can turn that bird's eye on and off so that you can really dedicate some viewing space to what you've got on there. You can see your trailer hitch, but this button right here is your underbody cameras. Very nice for wheeling off-road. If you want to make sure you miss an obstacle, you can see we have front and rear underbody cameras. So that is very nice. And you can see just how clear that those come through. They do have washers on them, so if you get the vehicle dirty underneath, well, you can simply push this little button right here and give them a wash, which is very nice. So I like that a lot. And then you can just, look front and rear here. So if you want a big, nice view, that is looking back at the back axle right there. So very nice. Sorry, the washer button for that is right there. So yeah, don't want to be wasting washer fluid when you're cleaning your windshield, cleaning your underbody cameras. So that's very nice. And we can hook up some trailer cameras to this as well. So very, very nice camera suite here in the Canyon. Very quick controls here, but you can go home. You've got a whole suite of things, different things you can dive through, including trailer profiles, things like that. Lots of stuff can be handled through the screen, perhaps too much. Your door lockouts, as you may have seen, are in here. Your hill descent control is in here. Your window lockouts, lots of stuff. I said door lockouts, those are still physical, but window lockouts, your HUD controls, still maybe too much baked into the screen, but I do like how we still get physical controls for your HVAC, your heated and ventilated seats, really like that. Maybe button overload, but we've quickly adapted to this very easily. We get dual zone climate control in this. It's worked very well. Again, I like dedicated buttons. The vents are nicely placed, though I feel like these are maybe a little low, but the priority was getting this in the line of sight. We get some very nice toggles down here, though I feel like this one is hidden. I feel like the hazard button is hidden in perhaps too many vehicles. They should maybe perhaps put this in a dedicated spot. I remember when General Motors used to put it here on the steering column. Kind of wish they'd bring that back. Otherwise, we get a locking rear, locking front and rear, auto start stop, your hazard, your lane keeping right here, your auxiliary power in the bed back there, and then what I call the fart button, because you can automatically drop all your windows. So while I complained earlier, yes, only the driver's is express up down, well, you can drop all of the windows very quickly with one button, but bringing them up, you're going to have to hold the buttons on the door. USB-A and USB-C power here, Qi wireless charger, that generally works. I still love the mechanical brindle here, very nice. And yes, when you put it in reverse, you get a nice reverse camera as well. Electronic 2-speed transfer case here. We've got an auto mode, 2 high, 4 low, and a knob here for all your different drive modes. So let me get out of this screen. We have a bunch of different drive modes, including a AT4X exclusive Baja mode. That is for some high-speed off-road fun. Really do like that, but we've generally been driving this one around in normal. Electronic parking brake, couple of cup holders with some camo down here. Phone slot, I guess. Let's see, I've got my iPhone 14 Pro Max. Yeah, that fits in there nicely, though it's gonna wiggle just a little bit. Decent center console. We've got this hard plastic insert, but you can see we've got a very deep well here with some additional power in there with a cigarette lighter style outlet in there. Decent size glove box. You can see we've got a lot of stuff in there. Again, the storage in the doors. And then another gripe I had, yeah, still noisy, but who really pushes this? It really was just a build quality concern after seeing just how wiggly the doors were. Another thing that absolutely drives me insane, and would be the first thing I did to change this if I bought it for myself, is this. Bose, I know you're proud. GMC, I know you're proud to have Bose, but this reflects right here in this in the windshield. It is super annoying. I see it all the time. I would either pop that off and plasti dip it, do something with it, or just leave it off entirely. It is very frustrating. I really wish they had thought that out just a little bit more. It is in a terrible spot. Up here, you can see we've got controls for our standard size sunroof right here, but I like how we just have a quick to open and close manual shade here. All your OnStar buttons. And then, yes, I'll go ahead and talk about it. The spare tire back there in the back obliterates your rear view mirrors usage here. There is no camera functionality in this. This vehicle really could have benefited from a camera-based mirror system here, because that view is absolutely terrible. And with nearly 600 miles on it, I can say, yeah, it's terrible. It's very interesting to live with, but I would absolutely do it, because this truck, y'all, it speaks to me. My caveman brain, this truck, y'all, my caveman brain loves it. It isn't practical, but it can do everything that I want it to very nicely. You can see I've got plenty of room up here in the front. But what about the back? The mid-size segment has been critiqued very heavily for their back seats. And you can see here, well, we've got a decent back seat in this one. I'm gonna go ahead, move my backpack out of the way, get this shade out of the way because I do want to show you some tricks of this back seat. First, yes, we do have a fold down armrest back here with 2 cup holders that do have little rubber grippers in them. I like that. Get the tiniest rear head restraint back here for middle passengers. You can fold these down, but again, with that view, you don't need to. And then you do have some underseat storage, but I'm sorry, I have to do this two-handed. You have to lift a latch right here in order to lift the seat. And it is not the best use of space here. Yes, we have our jack, though I really wonder if this jack would work on this lifted truck. And just a little bit of underseat storage here. It is 60-40 split, so I do like that. But yeah, you're not going to be getting a lot of items under here. Definitely not a lot of big items. The Ford Ranger definitely has a better underseat. The Toyota Tacoma does not, especially if you get the TRD Pro. You can't even lift it up. That's where the battery is for the hybrid system. The Honda Ridgeline, surprisingly, has the best. Back on the doors, you can see we've got some white here on the doors, the Obsidian Rush here. Nothing too spectacular. We do get a cup holder in the door there. We get all-weather floor mats back here to match the AEV branded ones up front. And we do not get a B-pillar mounted handle, but we do have this one right up here in the ceiling. Though I'm just gonna go for it, step in, grab my headrest to climb in. It's not graceful or by any means, but yes, at 5'10", I'm fine back here. It's not terrible. I can ride back here just fine. I am the average American male's height, so it works. This truck was built for a purpose, and it fulfills that. We do get mat pockets on the backs of both seats. We get cup holders back on the back of the center console. We get air vents back here, which I really like, USB-A and USB-C. And then we do get a household style plug back here down low. We get a little bit of a hump in the floor, so it is not a flat load floor, not even close to it like it is in the full-size pickup trucks, which is interesting. Coming to me, headroom, I've got a decent amount of headroom back here. I'm comfortable. I could ride back here, no problem. I wouldn't put 3 across, especially putting the child seat in. You can see a full install of this if you hit subscribe and find our family review. And you can see, well, I'm gonna have to go around to Tucker's door because he was with me while off-roading this one yesterday. So all that red dirt that you can see on the rear bumper and on the tires, there's a little bit of a question and concern what that does to the white here. So you can simply rub it with your finger and it goes away, but just a little bit of leather cleaner and I think that's going to be completely gone. If you know anything about East Texas red dirt, it is, well, it's a booger to clean, but I don't think it is that much of a problem even on those white seats. Clear trade-offs in this. Fuel economy, obviously. Visibility with that tire back there, obviously. Ingress, egress, obviously. But if you want to see why you make all those trade-offs, hit the subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you can see me off-road test this, which I actually filmed yesterday. Living with it daily, I love it. I really do. Like I said, my caveman brain just smiles and fills with joy. All the dopamine receptors are activated when I look at this truck. It just, the look is right. Those segment exclusive 35-inch tall Goodyear Wrangler tires, just all the dopamine, all of it in the brain. Love it, love it, love it. Climbing into it, I don't even mind that I have to climb up into it. Holly, well, that's a different story. I would absolutely spend the extra money for this truck over the AT4 that we tested last year. As I mentioned to you in that video, especially if you're coming from watching that video, a lot of my complaints were the overall value of that pickup truck, the value proposition. I felt like it was trying to thread the line between luxury and off-road, and it didn't do either quite that well this does it all. I mean, this is the most expensive Canyon you can get, even more so than the Denali luxury trim. We get heated and ventilated front seats up here, which work well. I even get GM's safety seat with all the alerts for like rear cross traffic and such, which came in handy with, again, that decreased visibility back there. In fact, I was backing out of a parking space, and even on the cameras, I could not see a vehicle that was flying towards me in a parking lot. And thanks to the safety seat and the rear cross traffic, I just stopped, waited for it, saw it after the fact. And yeah, this really awesome truck would have not been so awesome had it not been for all those safety measures. This really does give you everything. It throws it all at you at a price just over what Toyota is offering for their new TRD Pro pickup truck, which that alone comes with some sacrifices that we will get into when we get to test that one, though we have a few tours of it here on the channel as well, if you want to go watch that. I'm gonna be so sad when they come and pick this one up tomorrow, gearheads. I really do love this one, but if you want to see some more stuff from us, find us on all social media channels: Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it. It is all at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. Hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you're notified every time a new video drops. And yeah, until next time, gearheads, bye. I love it. I don't want it to go. Not gonna lie, hearing that turbo spool up, I like it. Would I rather a V8? Is that possible? Not from the factory.